Very good morning to all students. Have a nice day. Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. Student, in this video, I will explain poem number 3. The title of this poem is Lucy, written by William Wordsworth. It's a very interesting poem, so all the students give proper concentration in this video and try to understand the theme of the poem. Now look at here students. Your picture Lucy is written and here only the eyes of Lucy given in the picture, not a whole picture of the girl. Okay, so Lucy is a name of one young girl who was looking very beautiful. Okay, so the whole poem concerning with the theme of this character, and the character's name is Lucy. Now look at here. First of all, introduction about poet. Now you can see here William Wordsworth. Here in your textbook, picture of William Wordsworth is also given. You can see the picture of William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth, born in 1775 and died in 1850, was a British poet. He was not an Indian poet but British poet. He was a nature poet. Generally, in his poem, we can see the theme of nature. And his poem reveals his deep love of nature. He was a lover of nature. That's why in almost all his poem, we can see the theme of nature. This poem is one of a group of 5 poems. Okay, you can see here that I repeat once again this line, students. This poem is one of a group of 5 poems called the Lucy poems. William Wordsworth had written collection of poems, and the title of that collection given by him is the Lucy poems. So our present poem is one of the poem of that collection of poem, Lucy. In this poem, he talks about a beautiful woman who lived alone in the countryside. Okay, this woman, Lucy, was a very beautiful woman. As I told previously, she was very beautiful girl but lived alone in the countryside, surrounded by the beauty of nature, but remained unnoticed by the rest of the world. She was living lonely, alone. So nobody knows her. The poem ends with the feelings of pain and loss that the poet experienced when she died. At the end of the poem, students, this girl was died. So the tone of this poem is painful, or you can say tragic tone of the poem. Okay, so this is introduction about William Wordsworth. Now you can see here some words given in your textbooks. So we can see the meaning of this word. First word, dwelt. The meaning of this word is lived, L-I-V-E-D. Okay. Second word, untrodden. See the spelling properly, U-N-T-R-O-D-D-E-N. The meaning of this word is a place where not many people have walked, or you can say a remote place. These are the 2 meanings given. Out of 2, you can remember any one. Okay. So, untrodden means a place where not many people have walked, or you can say a remote place. Next word, springs of Dove. The river Dove. It's a name of river Dove. This river is in southwestern England. Next word, maid. A young unmarried girl. Okay, the meaning of the word maid is a young unmarried girl. Next word, praise, Praise. The meaning of this word is admire. किसी की प्रशंसा करना, admire. Next, star. The planet Venus is called the evening star and it seems brighter than all other stars and planets. Okay, so here star means planet Venus. It is called that Venus is a very attractive star, very bright star. Okay, and next word, cease to be. Cease to be means died. So these are very few word meaning given in your textbook. All these word meaning, students, you have to write in your fair notebook properly, and at the same time you have to learn also. Now see the poem of your textbook, students. I will explain line to line of this poem. So give proper attention and try to understand theme of the poem. Now look at here, students. As I told that in this poem is about one girl who was very beautiful. Okay. And as I told that William Wordsworth generally written most of his poetry concerning with the nature theme. Okay. So look at here, students. First line of the poem. She dwelt among the untrodden ways, beside the springs of Dove, a maid whom there were none to praise, and very few to love. First of all, students, here some underlined words are there, highlighted word is there. First of all, I explain. As I told, dwelt means lived, untrodden means remote place. Here springs of Dove means it's a name of river specially found in southwestern England. Maid means a young unmarried girl and praise means admire. Now look at here in the first stanza. What the poet wanted to tell us through this stanza is that she lived. Here she means you can understand the name of that girl is Lucy. Okay. Now Lucy lived among the untrodden ways. Lucy was living in a remote place like countryside beside the springs of Dove, beside the river of Dove, and there may be a season of spring. Her home is very far, where that very few people have walked nearby that path, and she was living lonely in her home. Okay, she did not knew what's happening surrounded in her place, and even people also not know that who was living in that home. A maid whom there were none to praise. A maid whom there were none to praise. This young unmarried girl was living in a remote place. Nobody knows that where Lucy was living, and she was living lonely. So nobody admired her beauty. She was very beautiful, but very few people knew her. So students, in the first stanza, the poet told that nobody notices and who lives by the riverside all by herself. She has no admirers or suitors around her. She was so beautiful, but many few people knew her because she was living lonely and she was living in a remote place. So she did not have acquaintances with the people. Look at here, student. A maid whom there were none to praise. Nobody praised her beauty. And very few to love. Only few people knows that Lucy was living in the countryside. Very few people knew her and very few people knew about her beauty. Now see the second stanza, students. A violet by a Moses torn, half hidden from the eye. Here, as we know that William Wordsworth was a nature poet, so many times we found in his poetry he was uses metaphor and similes, comparisons. Okay, so here he compared Lucy with violet flower by a Moses torn, half hidden from the eye. She was like a violet flower, looking very beautiful, but when the violet flower blossom behind the Moses stone, nobody no, we cannot see the beauty properly if any flowers blossom behind the Moses stone. Okay, so half hidden from the eye. Only few people notice the beauty of that flower. Same way, here Lucy compared with that flower, that here only few people knew that Lucy was a very beautiful girl. So here the poet compared Lucy with the violet, and he told a violet by a Moses stone, half hidden from the eye. If we are passing on the road and one beautiful flower was blossom, but that flower blossom behind one mossy stone, then we can't see the beauty of that flower. Only half hidden from the eye. Only few person have the time to observe the beauty of the flower. Okay? Same way the poet told that only few people knew about the beauty of Lucy. Fair as a star when only one is shining in the sky. Here again the poet used a comparison, simile with that Lucy's character. Again the poet compared Lucy with a fair as a star. Student, here fair means attractive, shining star. As I told, star means planet Venus. As you know, students, that Venus is a very attractive and shining star in the sky. So here what the poet wanted to tell, that poet compare shining star with Lucy, that she lived alone. Nobody knew where this Lucy was living, how was the beauty of this Lucy. So here the poet compared that fair as a star when only one is shining in the sky. Okay, so here shiny star that stands out when alone in the vast expanse of the sky. Nobody noticed properly. Okay, same way here only few people knew about the beauty of this girl. Now see the last stanza. She lived unknown and few could know. She lived unknown and few could know. When Lucy ceased to be, nobody knew her, nobody cared about her, nobody praised about her beauty. She lived unknown. किसी को भी पता नहीं था कि इतनी ब्यूटीफुल गर्ल यहाँ कंट्री साइड में रहती है. So through this poem, the poet wanted to make the character of Lucy immortal. Okay, so here it's a very symbolic line used in the last stanza. She lived unknown and few could know when Lucy ceased to be. Here the word ceased to be means died. Now See, in the third stanza, we can see that the tone of the poem is a very sad, tragic tone. Okay, so here what the poet wanted to tell, that she lived alone. Nobody knew when she ceased to be. इवन किसी को पता भी नहीं चलता है कि नाउ ल्यूसी इज नो मोर, शी पास्ट अवे, अब वो ये वर्ल्ड में नहीं है, उसकी किसी को भी पता भी नहीं चलता. नाउ ल्यूसी इज नो मोर, ल्यूसी was died, ceased to be, but she is in her grave, and oh, the difference to me. Nobody take into consideration, nobody focus on this beautiful girl. And now that girl was passed away, died, still only few people know. Through this third stanza, the poet wanted to tell that she lived alone and nobody knew when she ceased to be. It's a very sad tone of the poet represent in the last stanza. Here the poet told that किसी को कुछ difference नहीं हुआ कि now Lucy passed away. But the difference to me, the poet was telling that the poet lament on the death of the Lucy, कि किसी को कुछ डिफरेंस नहीं हुआ, बट मुझे उसके जाने का दुख है. But the speaker means the poet told that now Lucy is no more, and nobody noticed that now Lucy passed away from this worldly life. She died. But the difference to me, I feel very sad in my heart. Who said? The poet said that her death give me pain. So this is the end of the poem. So through this poem, the poet wanted to make immortal to this girl. Okay, Lucy. So this is the theme of the poem. It's a very short poem, and when you read line to line, you can understood that what the poet wanted to tell in this poem. Okay. Now students, this poem you have to read 2 times. Try to understand the theme of the poem. Now I discuss question answer. In this poem, only 3 questions given in your textbook. See the first question. How does the speaker describe Lucy's life in the first stanza? Here speaker means poet. I repeat once again question. How does the speaker describe Lucy's life in the first stanza? फर्स्ट स्ट्रैंजा में से हमें किस तरह से पता चलता है कि ल्यूसी की लाइफ कैसी है, वो पोएट ने यहाँ किस तरह से डिस्क्राइब किया है, वो आपको ये क्वेश्चंस के आंसर में लिखना है. हाउ वॉज द लाइफ ऑफ ल्यूसी इन द फर्स्ट स्ट्रैंजा? नाउ स्टूडेंट्स लुक एट हियर. आंसर इज गिवन. In the first stanza, the poet describes Lucy's life as a very quiet and lonely. As you know that Lucy was living in a remote place and lonely. So poet describes Lucy's life as a very quiet and lonely. Nobody lives with her. She was living alone in her home, and her home also was in a very remote place like a countryside. As she lived in a place where few people lived, and there are no too many neighbors living nearby Lucy's home, and was admired and loved by very few people. I repeat once again this answer. In the first stanza, the poet describes Lucy's life as a very quiet and lonely one, as she lived in a place where few people lived and was admired and loved by very few people. Only few people knew that Lucy was living here, and only few people knew that how Lucy was a beautiful. So she didn't have too much admired. Okay, and very few people loved her. Now question number 2. Look at here. Does the speaker see Lucy as someone special? What are the two comparisons the speaker uses in stanza 2? Do you think the comparison is appropriate? Here in this second question, 3 sub-questions given. I repeat once again this question. Does the speaker see Lucy as someone special? What are the two comparisons the speaker uses in stanza 2? Do you think the comparison is appropriate? इधर स्पीकर ने ये बताया कि ल्यूसी एज समवन स्पेशल, ल्यूसी का जो कैरेक्टर है वो स्पेशल है. व्हाट आर द टू कंपैरिजंस? और 2 कंपैरिजंस किया है स्ट्रांजा 2 में, उसको किसी के साथ कंपेयर किया है, तो वो आपको लिखना है कि कौन सी 2 चीज के साथ ल्यूसी के कैरेक्टर को कंपेयर किया गया है. डू यू थिंक द कंपैरिजन इज अप्रोप्रिएट? आपको ये सही लगता है कि जो कंपैरिजन यहाँ पोएट ने किया है वो एप्रोप्रिएट है, प्रॉपर है, वो आपको लगता है? ये आंसर में आपको लिखना है. So see the first. Does the speaker see Lucy as someone special? What are the two comparisons the speaker uses in stanza 2? Do you think the comparison is appropriate? Now look at the answer, students. It's quite long answer. Yes, the speaker does see Lucy as someone special. We know this because he says that her death would make a great difference to him. Now here him means to poet. Does the speaker see Lucy as someone special? किसी के लिए स्पेशल है ल्यूसी? आपको ऐसा लगता है? तो हम कह सकते हैं कि yes, the Lucy is special for whom? For poet. Because the death of the Lucy give pain into the heart of William Wordsworth. I repeat once again, student. Yes, the speaker does see Lucy as someone special. Someone special, किसी के लिए वो स्पेशल है. अब किसके लिए स्पेशल है वो भी हमें लिखना पड़ेगा. We know this because he says that in the last stanza, as we know, students, the line was there, the difference to me. The last line of the poem is a very, very symbolic line. Okay, so here it is given. He says that her death means Lucy's death, would make a great difference to him. Great difference to whom? Poet. In stanza 2, the poet compares her to a violet flower. First comparison the poet given in second stanza is he had compared Lucy with a violet flower. As you know, student, why here violet flower is written? Because you know that Lucy was a very, very beautiful girl, and here violet flower is also very attractive flower. That's why the poet compare the beauty of Lucy with the violet flower. And the second comparison is a fair star. Here fair means attractive star. Okay, shining star. So both the comparison he had given in stanza second. First comparison is a violet flower and second a fair star, a shining star. The comparison is appropriate because the violet flower beside a mossy stone is often hidden by the stone and remains unnoticed. Generally, students, violet flower always blossom beside a mossy stone, and is often hidden by the stone. Okay, so we can't see the beauty of the violet flower properly because it often hidden behind the Moses stone. So we can't notice properly, we can't see that flower's beauty properly. It is not clearly visible because it blossom behind Moses stone. That's why here the poet also described that Lucy was a very beautiful, but nobody knew that the beauty of the Lucy because Lucy was living alone and she was living in a remote place. So that comparison is appropriate. The second comparison, the fair star also cannot be noticed when all the other stars are shining in the sky, but can be seen and appreciated when it is the only one in the sky. At the night time, or you can see at night time, if you are looking that the Venus star is shining in the sky, when all the stars in the sky, we cannot notice properly the beauty of Venus star. Same way, here we cannot notice, or here not we can means as a human beings didn't know the beauty of her Lucy, that how beautiful that girl was. See, look at here, but can be seen and appreciated when it is the only one in the sky. The poet has said that Lucy was a woman whom few people knew and appreciated. She was living lonely life. Nobody care about Lucy. Nobody talk with Lucy. Only few people knew and appreciated her beauty. Okay, so this is answer of question number 2. Now look at question number 3. What happened when Lucy died? What happened when Lucy died? Did people know about her death? सभी को उसके डेथ के बारे में पता था? How was the speaker affected by her death? After death of Lucy, how the poet feel? So here I repeat once again question 3. What happened when Lucy died? Did people know about her death? How was the speaker affected by her death? Lucy ceased to be. From this worldly life, what happened? That we have to write in the first sub questions answer. Did people know about her death? All people knew that now Lucy is no more. Or how was the speaker affected by her death? After the death of Lucy, how the condition of poet, how the poet was feeling in his mind. Look at here the answer of question number 3. Now look here, when Lucy died, when Lucy died, look at here student, few people came to know of her death. Only few people knew that now Lucy died. But the poet was greatly affected. The death of Lucy gave sadness to the mind of poet. So here it is written clearly, but the poet was greatly affected. He was grief stricken at her death. The poet feeling very, very sad in his heart about this young beautiful girl, and that's why in the stanza 3 the tone of the poem is totally sad, tragic. So only poet को उसकी इफेक्ट होती है, बाकी किसी को ये ध्यान में नहीं लेते हैं कि इतनी ब्यूटीफुल गर्ल नाउ नॉट in our world, now that girl passed away. Okay, so This is answer of question number 3. I repeat once again, student. Answer number 3. When Lucy died, few people came to know of her death, but the poet was greatly affected. He was grief-stricken at her death. So this is answer of question number 3. All these 3 questions, students, you have to write in your fair notebook properly in your good handwritings, and at the same time all these 3 questions you have to learn by heart. Thank you.